watching. As you can see, this is when Gabon's president of Gabon. His name is Nguema. I think that's his last name. His first family name, honestly, difficult to pronounce. Just watch what is happening. This is a flood and an area that was flooded in the past 2 days ago. He visited the flood, and you can see what is happening here. He has actually visiting and trying to actually empathize and encourage the people by actually being in the flood himself. Yeah, for those of you who have been following Gabonese affairs, this president has been in the usual activities. The usual activities are considered that to be positive. He's a very, very playful, jovial, and humble president who dances around and plays with common people on the streets. Just look at how he's really. This is when you talk of empathizing with people. The personification of empathizing with people in trouble, people who are passing through hard times. That's exactly what he's just very close to the people. Okay, all right, Barrister. You watched everything. I don't know. That was the president of Gabon, Nguema. What's your take on that? Now, usually flood. I don't know. Nobody, not even local government chairman in Nigeria ever did that. Not to talk of the president of a country. There was a flood. Usually, most presidents, what they do is when a flood like this, that is the least they can. That is the most they can do. The least. Sorry, they can do is actually go on a chopper, helicopter, to fly around to see the environment, view the or whatever. That is the least I have ever heard or watched any president or any head of state do. But in this case, this man went by road, drove to the scene, walked in the flood, messed himself all up. After that, addressed the people. And you saw a baby. In fact, when I saw that baby, honestly, tears, I just almost rolled down from my tears gathered in my eyes. Honestly, because that was a very, very, very bad situation. I especially when it comes to me, honestly, when it comes to children, I'm very weak when it comes to children. I have very soft spot for children generally. So when I saw that baby, honestly, I felt extremely bad and emotional. And you saw what he did there with the children. He even, I don't know. Honestly, that man is just someone I admire. I don't know if you have. I don't know much about what he has done. I don't know. I don't think he's doing his performance because it's a democratic dispensation. So I wouldn't expect that much from him. Unlike what is happening in Burkina Faso. With Captain Traore. But the man is just a humble man. Barrister, what's your thoughts on that?
I thought when I watched that video is that this man is joining the group of young African leaders, particularly in the Sahel, that are trying to be close to the people.
Yes.
And as the only way of knowing what the people know, feeling what the people feel, with a view to bringing out solutions. Gabon has been misruled since independence, I believe by the family, if I'm not mistaken, the family of Omar Bongo, who I think I read last week that they have been released from prison to be free people. They were dictators that ruled Gabon since independence. This man appears to be a young leader. Even by his dressing, by his actions, you can see that he has come in a different mode. And we can begin to compare him with the Traores of Burkina Faso and the other people. It is good to see African leaders, young African leaders, merging with the people, identifying with the common and poor people of their countries, unlike what you see elsewhere, in
Nigeria.
our own country, for instance, and elsewhere. This is the spirit that we want African leadership to take. It takes a lot for a president to wade into feet of muddy water, even at the risk of his own safety. I noticed that even some policemen were trying to sleep and fall, and somebody had to.
Yeah, honestly.
Somebody had to help them stabilize. This man was not afraid.
That was supposed to be people. The people that are supposed to be protecting the president.
Were themselves. They were themselves at risk.
Honestly,
but this man took the risk to wade into the water to see the people sitting on rooftops who could not come down, and to see the devastation of the distance. For God's sake, if you are a person with a human heart and you see that kind of devastation, how will you ignore it? How will you not go back and put measures in place, not just to help those people, but to prevent a reoccurrence? Because it's rain. You can expect it next year to come. Next year, the flooding to happen, and next year and next year. In Nigeria, we have the same flooding situation. We talk about it. We have an ambassador that we say, okay, go and give them
handouts,
handout blankets or bags of rice, and wait for next year's flood again.
Honestly.
Now, that is not, you take immediate solution of giving the handout, and then you go back and frame a permanent solution to that problem. You can see where those people are residing. It is a low-lying area, which means that every time there's heavy rain, there will be a flood. If you go there and see that, it will not take anything for those people to be relocated to higher ground, for new housing units to be built for them, so that you solve the problem permanently. Because with the way the flows go and the lie of the ground, you can expect that every year something like that will happen. So it means you have to take a permanent solution by going there and seeing it. And the way the man, I think he too was emotional.
Yes, yes, of course.
Levels of emotion on him, and he would not like that kind of thing to happen next year or the following year. We have flooding in Nigeria every year. In fact, NIMET will predict that we are going to have flooding in 9 states. We are going to have, they will even name the states. It has become a ritual, year in, year out. But what does our government do to make sure that next year this flooding does not occur? There's nothing. They do nothing. There's no planning. There's nothing on the ground to ensure a permanent solution is made to this. That is the difference between the emerging young leaders and our old and
spent leaders, honestly.
Outdated, antiquated leaders that we have in Nigeria and elsewhere in Africa.
Honestly, that is, you've just said it perfectly well.